Welcome back to some new r/PettyRevenge stories, where people share small victories over those who wronged them. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Only with a Note. I'm working as an engineer, and all my work is done on my work laptop. Because of this, teleworking is pretty much the way of working, ever since 2020. However, 2 weeks ago, we got a new manager, who decided that we had to have a mandatory team day at the office once a week, basically wanting everyone on the team to be present that day. I don't like the idea of mandatory presence at the office, but whatever, I fought by myself. I usually go once a week to the office anyway, for various reasons. Fast forward to today. It's our mandatory day, and I have been coughing since yesterday night. So I decided to not risk it and stay at home. I had symptoms, but felt like I could still work. Besides that, I don't want half the office to be sick as well by next week and blame me for it. So I sent my manager a mail to inform him that I won't be present at the office. Not much later, I got a reply back stating that agreements must be respected and that mandatory days can't be missed without a doctor's note. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the doctor the same day, and she gave me 3 sick days off. I took a picture of the doctor's note and sent it to HR with the manager and CC. I still don't understand why he made it such a big deal, that I wanted to work from home for my own and my team's well-being. But hey, 3 days off. The next story is called Nasty Landlord. This happened about a year ago, and I no longer live in this apartment. Back in CA, my wife and I rented a nice apartment. It had some new features, and the monthly rent was a bit expensive, but we felt that it was the better option we had at the time, as CA is just generally expensive. My landlord was a retired old man, who makes his income through this apartment complex. He was nice when we first met and when we signed the papers. On the first day, he told us that if we had any issues, we needed to call him first, and he would handle it, because he'd rather have himself or his workers do it. In the first few weeks, we noticed the blinds were missing, and we asked for the missing pieces. He happily obliged and gave them to us. Then, after a few days, we noticed the blinds were falling off, so we asked for more pieces. He then started to get rude, and said that he'll charge us if we ask again. So we let that go. Next, we noticed one of the electrical outlets wasn't working. We informed him about this. He got grumpy and didn't believe us. We insisted, and he sent his worker. But his worker also said the outlet worked. However, when I plugged in a lamp, it still didn't work. They never tested the outlet by plugging anything in. But I let that go, because he just rudely kept telling us it did. So I don't use that outlet. The last straw was our upstairs neighbor. She complained about our noise level, but it was over the most ridiculous things, like hearing the door open or hearing the cabinets and closets open. We don't slam anything or walk heavily. Our landlord took her side. In the end, the neighbor tried to make our living miserable by blasting music the whole day and leaving her dog alone to also bark non-stop. Our landlord still took her side and basically ignored us. We were ready to leave once our lease was up, but I wanted to do something to get back at him before we left. Cue the laundry room. There's a nearby laundry room in the apartment complex. Washer and dryer were $3.50 and $3 per load. In the first few months I was playing around with the washer and dryer, because I was figuring out how to use it. The settings changed to Spanish, and somehow I was able to bypass the payment method. So basically, I could get laundry done for free. I didn't do it because I didn't want to do that to our landlord. But after 6 months in, where we experienced our landlord's true attitude and treatment, I bypassed the laundry payment for the rest of the 7 months we lived there before leaving. On average, I did 3 loads of clothing laundry per week. That doesn't include our bed sheets, washable shoes, or plushies. I have a room's worth. That also doesn't include my friend's laundry too. I had some friends stay over a few days, so I did more than just 3 loads a week. Anyway, I did all of that for 7 months. I hope he lost quite a bit of money and paid more on electricity. When I left, I contemplated if I should relay this hack to the other tenants, but I wasn't close enough to the other tenants to make sure this didn't come back to bite me. It was a good run nevertheless. The last story is called Revenge on a Bad Coworker. I work at a well-known luxury department store in the shoe salon. To start, let's call this horrible coworker HC. I'd been working here for about 8 months when they brought in HC. None of my team was thrilled, especially considering our boss had said he would stop after he hired coworker number 7. We work solely on commission, so more people means less of the pie. The first day inevitably came, and while at first things were okay for about a month, the drama and toxic environment soon followed. In the past, I found it extremely difficult to trust my gut because of my severe anxiety, but this time I just knew instantly I got trashy vibes from her on day 1 and knew I wasn't going to be able to trust her. She's lied and thrown her team under the bus if it benefited her multiple times. Whenever we called her out on her toxic behavior, HC would run to our HR department and spin a web of more lies and drama. Our team used to be super chill amongst one another when it came to helping clients, but with her, she was a shark. HC would stalk every client and push them to try on shoes and buy them, which sometimes worked frustratingly well. It set us all off and made us feel like we were trying to fight for scraps. Don't forget, we work solely on commission, so this was affecting our paychecks. Not only would HC stalk, but she would steal clients. I have confronted her multiple times, only for her to make up some excuse and not give my client back to me. Our store is prided in the relationships we build with our clients, so this was a giant no-no. She has shown up to work extremely hungover, drunk, or cooked up, or all of it at the same time. She has gotten aggressive with some of the sweetest coworkers I know, and has shoved them or gotten up in their face. HC has messed up countless times with clients, giving them the wrong size or refusing to ever return their items. At this point, it had been over a year she'd been here, and I now hated this job. Every day I came in and saw she was working too, I was absolutely miserable. We'd all gone to my managers, but there was nothing they would really do. Eventually, we found out that HC began dating one of the managers in our store. In the ethics code, that is punishable by instant suspension and/or termination for both involved. We found out that because he worked in the back, he was giving her online curbside sales. I don't know how they did it exactly, but she was getting thousands in extra sales because of this, which is a giant red flag, because this is considered fraud. Our LP lead also agreed that it was very suspicious, as did our state HR director, but nothing was ever done. At this point I was fed up and didn't know what to do. I have remained professional, and I'm a very anxious person who avoids getting into conflicts, so I didn't know what I could do to get back at her for all the things she's pulled. So at some point, on a day she wasn't working, I just walked over to where our business cards were, and I flipped them over backward, thinking she would just flip them back over, right? Oh, how deliciously wrong I was. I found out about a month later from a close coworker that HC freaked out and immediately ran to HR and LP, demanding they investigate and find out who did this, complaining that we all hated her and that this was a breach of respect. Well, remember how I mentioned HC would run to HR for literally anything we called her out on or any lies she spun up? Let's just say she was not welcomed with open arms on this. HR just sat there like, really? This is what you are here for? Grow up and flip them back around. And LP was like, are you serious right now? To which they actually entertained it and asked 2 of my coworkers if they did it, to which they responded no. The managers then berated her for this and for wasting their time. Several months later, they finally fired her and her boyfriend, because they got concrete proof of them being together. This situation just added to the case being built against her. Since then, we are all in happy spirits again. My anxiety has lessened significantly, and while I'm still leaving eventually to go into a completely different career, I'm starting to like this job again. Oh, and the paychecks are much better now. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.